What's up gamers, in today's video I'm going to be talking about the upcoming Geo 5-star character coming in Genshin Impact version 4.5, Chiori. She got drip marketed a few days ago and let's just say I'm hyped. But anyway, since I hate long intros and I know you probably do too, let's get straight into the video. So Chiori is going to be a Geo sub DPS character. For some reason Hoyoverse has decided that they want to show Geo some love by bringing in new characters, but at the same time they don't want to show their players love. She's also a dual scaling unit, meaning that she scales off two stats. And she's Geo, so of course one of them is going to be defense, and the other is attack. Because she scales off both attack and defense, this allows her to be one of the more flexible characters we've seen in Genshin Impact. Since she also scales off attack, she gets benefits from attack buffs such as Bennett's Burst, Noblesse Obliged, and so much more. Because of this flexibility, maximizing her damage with artifacts is going to be much easier for players, and that's an overall win. She also ascends with crit rate, which is good because you can slightly lean more into crit damage, offering a more offensive build for Chiori. But now let's talk about her normal attacks. As seen in her drip marketing, she wields two swords. A lot of people find this a cool design, and I do too. And this is important because her normal attacks are, drumroll please, useless. They're just basic normal attacks that will most likely have a cool animation because she has two freaking swords. They better not fumble with her animations. But at the same time, they shouldn't make them better than Raiden's because according to my calculations, Raiden has the best attacking animations in the entire game. Okay, now for the interesting part of her kit, her skill and her burst. Chiori actually uses both her elemental skill and burst to do damage. When you use her elemental skill, she kind of lunges forward, and after doing this lunge, she will summon a puppet. This puppet then does off-field geo damage. I see her skill being similar to Furina's and Yaoyao's mixed together, because Furina summons seafood to do all her damage, whilst Chiori summons puppets. I'm kind of seeing a trend here. Chiori's puppets attack pretty slow, but they do good damage. I want to know the best way to make a Genshin player happy: big fat damage on the screen. If there's a geo construct, for example Zhongli's pillar, whilst the puppet is on field, then another puppet will spawn near the location of the geo construct, and this improves her damage significantly. And what's amazing is that the duration of these puppets is counted separately, so you can essentially have an 100% uptime on these puppets. But I'm not sure if that's the best approach. Overall, it's a good elemental skill, but of course there has to be a catch, and this catch is that there can only be a max of 2 puppets. You can also hold her skill, and by doing this you can adjust the location of where Chiori lunges, which will ultimately adjust the location of her puppets. And all the damage that she does from her elemental skill will scale off attack and defense. Anyway, now for her elemental burst. Her burst is very complicated. There are a lot of things that you need to think about when doing her burst, because what it does is geo damage. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna have to give you some time to process all that information. Apparently it can do so much damage that is comparable to Aika's burst and Raiden's burst, but that's impossible. We all know Raiden's the best character in the game. It also has only a 60 energy cost. Yeah, know your place, Chiori, because Raiden's burst cost is 90, and the last time I checked, 90 is more than 60. So therefore, mathematically speaking, Raiden's better. Now for her passives. After doing her elemental skill for the second time, you'll swap into the next party member in your team, and after that they will do a coordinated attack. This attack can do almost the same amount of damage as her E, and it can also be done twice every 2 seconds. If you don't decide to do her E, then she'll get a 5-second Geo infusion on her normal attacks. This is very similar to Navia's Geo infusion after doing her skill. I'm not too sure if it can be overridden by effects such as Bennett's C6, but we'll have to see. Overall, her passives seem pretty good. I feel like the coordinated attack is going to be super helpful for damage for the team. And when there was a lot of talk about Navia, I very highly overlooked the damage that her geo normal attacks would do. And it turns out that they actually do pretty good damage. So I'm not going to be doing that with Chiori. She might actually do really good damage with her geo infused normal attacks. But at the same time, Navia is a main DPS whilst Chiori is a sub DPS. And it's important to know that her normal attacks might scale off attack, since the normal attacks of a lot of the characters we have available scale off attack. But at the end of the day, time will tell. Okay, now for her second passive. This passive makes it so that when there's a construct on the field like Geo Traveler's Rocks or even Zhongli's Pillar, she gets a 20% geo damage bonus increase for 20 seconds. This is the most geo passive I have ever seen in my entire life. Everything about her kit just looks like Genshin doesn't want her to be special at all. Why not make her have some sort of pizzazz? Well, the only way to describe her dry kit is Geo. But anyway, let's talk about her talent priorities. So her most important talent is obviously her elemental skill. This is because she summons her puppets after doing her skill. And since most of her damage is going to be coming from her puppets, then the higher the level, the bigger the damage. Her burst should be leveled up next or even equally, because who doesn't like a basic nuke of geo damage? And then lastly, her normal attacks. I would say that you shouldn't ignore them, since you do have the option to weave in some normal attacks, but you can do whatever you want. Oh yeah, if you're enjoying the video, why not like, subscribe, and join my Discord down below. below. It's super fun over there because we talk about a bunch of stuff. I even host giveaways from time to time. It's also a pretty good place to get Genshin advice from me and a bunch of other people, ranging from what banners to summon on or how to build a certain character. It's definitely a place I would 100% recommend you join, plus it's only a few clicks away, so why not? Anyway, let's go back to Chiori. In general, Chiori just feels like an albedo that purely focuses on damage. They're both Geosword characters, but Chiori does a lot of sub DPS from off field, whilst albedo does sub DPS damage and can generate energy for the team. This energy that he generates is super helpful for Geo teams. Chiori synergizes very well with characters that are able to make constructs, so that means she's not going to be the best with Navia because, for example, if you have this team, where would you slot Chiori? You could replace albedo with her, but you're going to be missing out on energy for your Navia and damage for your Chiori because there isn't a way to make a construct. The only time where you'd want to pair Chiori with Navia is when you have her at C1. In all honesty, she's kinda niche. Don't get me wrong, her damage is amazing. It's even better than Yelan's at C0 or 1 if you have a character that makes constructs, but she's just not the best. She would be really good if she was another element like Hydro or Electro, but there's no way you can fix this horror of an element. But that's just me. Let's get into the last section of the video, her best teams. Because Chiori benefits a lot from having a construct on field, you kind of need to use her with another Geo character that can create these constructs. And because of this, one of her best teams is with Ito and a mono Geo team. A lot of people don't like playing Geo, like me, but I can't help but feel bad for the Geo lovers. If they want to get Chiori and they already have albedo, well, you're just going to have to replace that albedo with Chiori. There are also some other teams that aren't the greatest, but ones you can try, like this Hu Tao team. Hu Tao is the main DPS of the team. She's going to be doing a lot of the team's damage on field. Then there's Xingqiu or Yelan. Any of them is fine since they'll be filling out the slot of a Hydro sub DPS character. Then there's Zhongli, who is there to provide protection and a construct. And Chiori is just there to do Chiori things. Geo resonance is cleared and all, but at the same time, this team isn't going to be better than the different double Hydro teams which Hu Tao has available. Another team you can try using is with Ryze, Shenhe, Chiori, and Zhongli. This is obviously not the strongest of teams. It's definitely not a team where Ryze shines the brightest, but it's a team you can use Chiori in. Yamiko, Nahida, Chiori, and Zhongli is just an AFK meme team you can try, but a lot of people are going to pair her up with Ito as an albedo replacement. But anyway, let me know if you're going to be pulling for Chiori down in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, why not like, subscribe, and join my Discord down below. It's super fun over there and I would recommend you join. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.